When I got arrested at 22 years old, I was very immature, reckless.
I'm finally in a position where I'm able to make a positive impact in my community.
The sky's the limit with this program.
Welcome to Prison to Purpose, Building Futures Behind Bars. I'm your host, Michelle Kane. We are so excited that you are joining us for this episode today. We are talking to Kyle Patterson. He was formerly incarcerated and now serves on the California Correctional Training and Rehabilitation Board, which used to be the Prison Industry Board. And he has served on this board, as well as he's a regional manager for the Western States Carpenters Union. And your trajectory of your life, I mean, did you ever think in your wildest dreams, from where you were to where you are now, that you would be here today?
No, ma'am, not at all. Just growing up in South Los Angeles during the 80s and 90s, looking for that, seeking mentorship, single moms with 9 of us, 2-bedroom apartment. It was a little tough, right? And having that male role model was very important to me. So to your point, your question is, I never saw myself being here because the folks that I was following, trying to seek mentorship and guidance, we were all kind of like the blind leading the blind a little bit. And so, you're trying to do what the person who you look up to is doing. And that kind of led me to a place of right around 1994, just getting in trouble. I ended up forfeiting 6 years, 3 months of my freedom. Getting tried as an adult. I was 17.
17 years old.
Yeah, going to Dorsey High School, 10th grade, and got caught up for some robberies, and it was just one of those things to where.
So you were following. Yeah. You said you were looking for mentors. You were looking for that guidance. Was it a gang?
Yes, ma'am.
So you were just involved in a gang?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is what you did?
Yes.
And how many robberies? What was your life like? I mean, you were, again, 17 years old, 16. When did you start? When were you initiated into the gangs, I should say?
So 1989, November, leading into December, just with my family, we're staying on 97th Street in Vermont. In between Hoover and Vermont. And so I was going to, this is around the time we were getting bused to the Valley schools. So I was going to a school in called Portola Junior High. And so a lot of us, kind of all, me and my cousins, we were going to the same school. We walked to school, to the bus stop at 95th Street Elementary School. But before that, this one of my cousins seen somebody it was a guy that had some boots on and a jacket, and next thing you know, we had the jacket and the shoes. They were LA Gear boots and a Levi jacket. I guess that was the thing back then.
Mm-hmm.
So
they're still the thing.
Yeah,
I still see it. Levi's, making a comeback.
Yes, yeah. And so that's when it all started right there for us, to where we ended up getting arrested. Lenox sheriffs arrested us. We were probably I was 13, maybe 13-ish. And it all kind of started from there. I just was on probation for the longest, never was able to get off of it. The probation department was that I was going to was KJJC, Kenyan Juvenile Justice Center, over on 77th and Central. And from that point right there, it was like you're always, you're going to school and you're just around it in your community, in your house. Everybody from over here and you're from over here. And it's just...
it was just your way of life.
fighting in the backyards because they see a young cat pull up, and next thing you know, you're fighting with them. And hey, fight them! Let's see how strong you are. And it was just trying to fit in and earn your stripes like that, right? And so, again, it was just not knowing, just trying to fit in and look for the guidance from the people who I respected.
Yeah, yeah. And how was your attitude during that time? Were you a different Kyle than you are now?
Yes, way different. Just because, just I had to be the one of the providers in my household. So my mother, she was doing it by herself, and
how many children again?
There was 9 of us.
9,
Mm-hmm.
9 kids.
Yeah, and so
Were you the oldest?
Second oldest.
Second oldest.
Yes, my older sister, and then me, and then it was.
You were the oldest male in your family, and your father was.
So I have an older brother too. My oldest brother is Luke. So he's pretty much a mentor to where when it came to sports.
Okay.
He was always trying to, hey man, let's go play football. Let's run track. So I did pretty good at that right there. And so kind of leading a double life a little bit because you would try and do that during the school hours, and then afterwards you're hanging out. And so that it kind of caught up with me.
Yeah. Now let's go to, you were 17 and you were tried as an adult. And you said robbery?
Yes, ma'am.
So what did you do? What?
So on a bus, right? It was a school RTD bus at the time. Being a guy that I was going to school with, I was going to Dorsey, so it was one of those things to where you had to have a pistol with you to go to that school from where I come from, and so we left school early one day, and we got on the bus, and next thing you know, I seen some folks in the back of the bus, guy with some money, and I pulled a pistol out and started taking things. And
Armed robbery right there.
yes, ma'am. And then somebody on the bus, I guess, knew me from going to school, and it was one of those things. The bus had a camera on it too, and so it was just one of those things to where it all came back to, hey, he goes to school there, and ended up. Police came to the school and picked me up from auto mechanic class.
Oh, and what was going through your mind? I mean, you had to, I would imagine, go to court.
Yes. So during that process right there, going to a court in Inglewood. So I went to Los Padrinos, and then from there was going back and forth to Inglewood Court, and they were trying to see if I was fit for a juvenile or adult, and so that lasted for a year or so, going back and forth to Central, and from that point right there, it was just, hey, he's capable. So.
Now, did your mom appear in court with you? What was going through your mind at that moment?
Embarrassing because I'm, letting her down, and I was kind of there to help out and help her and stuff like that, and so just didn't want to let her see me like that. And at that point, I just was giving up, right? Just, hey man.
Yeah, and
I
then
don't want to see anybody right now.
And then where did you go from there? So the judge sentenced you. Where did you go?
So I ended up going to Tehachapi, and then it was like a reception. And
Reception center.
From the reception center, they pretty much sent me to a prison, Pleasant Valley.
Pleasant Valley
So
State Prison.
It had just opened, as a matter of fact.
Now, did you turn 18 at that time?
Yes.
So you just turned 18.
I was 18. Took me probably about 12 months or so. So a little over 18-ish.
Yeah.
By the time I ended up going to prison. And,
First time in prison.
Mm-hmm.
Eye-opening experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And so Pleasant Valley just opened up, and at that time it's what yard who's owning certain things on the yard, like the weight benches or
the prison politics, right?
Yeah.
You have to play into that.
Yes.
And
So I played into it, and because I always, just how I was raised was, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it all the way. And that's pretty much how that situation was for me. So I want to back that up, because once I left Central Juvenile Hall, they sent me to LA County Jail, and then from there, going through the different modules and stuff like that. They were like, "Hey man, if you can last in here, you can last anywhere." And so it was just a lot of fighting and things like that happening, kind of prepping you for where you're going.
now, were you fighting with the others?
There was always fights.
There was always
There
fights.
was always fights, and
You had to be tough,
definitely.
but inside you're just crying.
Oh man, when the judge said, "You're too sophisticated, so we're going to try you as an adult and sentence you to 6 years," I went back later on that evening, and I sat in the room in that cell, and I cried,
Yeah.
because I was like, man, thought it was over.
Yeah. I can't even imagine. And you're there in the cell crying, but having to be tough on the outside, right? So making sure nobody's watching, making sure nobody's seeing you. That must have been really tough.
Oh yeah, it definitely was. And so then at that point, once they sent me to Tehachapi, then later on to Pleasant Valley, then I went to Soledad. And then from Soledad, there was just some situations to where folks, some people that I run with at the time, they were, somebody was trying to bully them. And so they came to me, and I just went to go look for the person. And I ended up, retaliating on their behalf. And some folks allegedly got stabbed. And next thing you know, I'm doing a 30-month SHU program in Corcoran. And so from that point, it was just like,
Wow. And that's a secured housing unit. So that's where you are locked up by yourself, correct?
oh yeah, yes, man. Well, at the time they were.
This was back in the 90s?
Yes, this was 97.
Okay.
Yeah, 97, 98.
Okay.
And so from that point right there, it was just, we had cellies at the time, but then there were situations where we had to go on walk alone because you're beating your cellies up. So it was just.
You were quite rebellious, and just, were you angry?
I think so.
Yeah.
I never really had too much to, be angry at. It was just my situation where I grew up at. I was just always trying to, that's what I do, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I was doing at the time. And I just.
How about your father?
Never met him until 2007-ish when I was working at LA Live.
Okay.
My wife actually found him on well, she found somebody that looks like me on Facebook, and she said, "Hey, but he looks Hispanic." And so she reached out to him, and she said, "Hey, was your dad in Vietnam?" And he reached back probably about 3 weeks later.
It was your
said,
father.
"That's my dad." And so me and my brother got together, and then later found my pop. So
that's a whole nother story, Kyle. That's a whole nother story. Are you still connected with your dad?
yeah, I know where he's at.
Yeah.
He's doing well. Me and my brother, we talk a lot. He's in the
Okay.
trade too. So
Okay. So let's take a short break. We'll be right back. But I want to hear more about, now you're in prison. You just said you were at Corcoran, and let's talk about where your life changed and and how Kyle is now the Kyle I see and the Kyle I know. So we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Prison to Purpose, Building Futures Behind Bars. I'm Michelle Kane. I'm joined by Kyle Patterson, and this story has me on the edge of my seat. Just listening to your story and what you went through as a child, as well as, you single mom, 9 children. You said by day you were this high school athlete, and then you would get, into the neighborhood, and then you were a whole different Kyle. You were a whole different person. Armed robbery is what landed you in prison. And now you went to various prisons. You were kind of, and why did you go from prison to prison to prison? Was it because, were you getting in trouble?
I did have a red card for majority of the time.
And a red card means, for the public, I don't even know what is a red card?
So they came out with this red card system to where, if you're not
doing well, you get the red card.
Performing, yeah, yes, ma'am, exactly. So whether it was haircuts or whether it was just any little small thing, it was just, no, I'm not doing that today.
Okay.
And how I was feeling, that's just, if I wanted problems that day with somebody, I would just act out.
So inside, this is just, I can't even imagine what you're wrestling with inside you. You're in prison, you're at Corcoran, you're in the, I said security housing unit, which has pretty much gone away now. But back in the 90s, it was there. And how long were you there in the security housing unit?
Total of 30 months straight.
30 months straight.
Yes, ma'am.
And what was your life like? What did you do day in and day out?
Push-ups, burpees, reading, turning toilet paper and soap into chess pieces or transportation methods, right? It's just all kind of different things, getting creative.
Sending notes, or did they call them kites? Or,
yes, ma'am.
Kites.
Learning Swahili, so I did learn that right there, and to where I was pretty good. I haven't practiced.
Who did you talk
in a
to?
while.
Who did your family come and visit you?
No, ma'am.
You had no visitors.
No.
No visitors at all. Who did you talk to?
There was some folks that was my mentors up in there too. Little guy named Stanley Williams Jr. Different people, right? And so we were right there all together, and that was one of the things that we did was just try to keep our mind from being locked up in there because it's just the 4 walls all the time, right? And then 23 hours a day, the only time you're coming out is really to the shower. And so just trying to stay sane.
Yeah.
I think my turning point that really got me.
Yeah, I want to hear what changed it. What was that turning point? What?
Yeah, so at first in there I had a cellie, and then there was some things where we had to get split up, and so now I'm on walk alone status, and to where I think it was when I ended up going to the this thing they call potty watch, right? And so they thought I swallowed a razor blade. Was in this room for about 3 days. You have to have 3 normal passes, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so you're doing it in a bucket with a plastic bag in it, and then next thing you know, they realize nothing was there. And so it was the summertime, it's hot, and I just, all of a sudden, nobody knew that I was back there. in that situation. The officers and them, right? Everybody said, hey, you wasn't ever back there, but I know where I was at. Anyway, I ended up going back to the cell, and it was just like, Lord, I'm going to give my life to you if you get me out of here. I know we're not supposed to barter, make deals and stuff like that, but I seen this ant that was crawling on the wall. And I just felt this, I seen him, just crawling. I was like, I wish I was that ant. And I felt this like wind kind of in the room. And I just fell on my knees and gave my life to God. So
Right
that's when it's changed. Anything that was going to happen after that, it was going to be because I made that happen. And so 90 days before you can parole, right? Wherever you're at, that's where you parole from. So I had a little less or a little more than 90 days. So from Corcoran, they sent me back to Salinas Valley and Sea Yard. And so 85% lifers were on lockdown. As soon as I get there, you're pulling up to the prison in a van with like 6 of us in a van, traveling through the afternoon and through the night. We pull up, all orange lights. I'm like, man, here we go again. All my peoples is up here. And so everybody, when we came off lockdown, they expect you to be the same person who you was when you left.
Yeah. And here you just had this moment and you were changed.
Yes, ma'am. I wasn't going to be the follower like that. So, and I was ready to take whatever came with that. And so at this point, I didn't ever think I was coming home because every time I got close, something else happens.
Yeah.
So my mindset was just like, I'm ready to do whatever just to stand up for me. And so at that point, we ended up going on lockdown. This is how God worked. Went on lockdown, and they called my name one day. You can't let nobody, the rule is you can't let anybody know when you're paroling either, right? So the door racked early one morning, like 4 o'clock in the morning. He said, hey, Patterson. And it was like, roll it up, you're going home. And everybody in the pod I was in Sea Yard, right? Everybody's like, hey, cuz, that's you.
You get to go home.
Yes, so I was like, they said, hey, man, I think they made a mistake, my cellie, right? I was like, no, that's for me. And I just ended up paroling, just
walking
out of there. Got the $200 gate money and did everything and took a Greyhound down to a Grand Central Station in L.A.
And changed your life.
That first Sunday, I was on 106 and Hoover at that church right there, and gave my life to God because I was going to leave out the way that I came, just in my mind. That's how I was thinking about it. But then when I came home, it was just like, Lord, whatever you need me to do, I'm right there for you. And I've just been trying to walk the straight and narrow ever since.
And you have seen that you've gone from serious darkness to that light. And it's just, I cannot wait to share with everyone what you're doing now. So we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back with what Kyle Patterson is up to now.
Favor and blessings.
Yeah, there we go. Mm-hmm. We'll be right back.
If this episode moved you, hit follow and subscribe to the Prison to Purpose podcast. And remember, no matter where you started, you're always one choice away from a better future.
Welcome back to Prison to Purpose, Building Futures Behind Bars. And we are talking with Kyle Patterson. And you just left us on a street corner. You left us on a street corner. And I just want to know, what was the future like for Kyle? I kind of know, but first off, how long have you been out of prison now?
November 5th made 25 years for me.
25 years you've been out of prison.
2000, November 5th.
November 5th, 2000. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Lord.
Okay,
Appreciate
I know.
that.
So tell me that so you're on a street corner. You're down in LA. Greyhound bus drops you off.
Yes, ma'am. And so I went to go surprise my mother and family and say hello. And there were some people that I grew up there too. And again, it's always thinking you're going to be the same that the way they last seen you. And so I was on a different page. And so at the time, I believe I paroled with like 189 points or something like that, right? So it was high risk parole. You had to report in really frequently. And so I went to this program. There was this parole office right there on 23rd and Alameda. And there was a flyer on the wall, on the board, and it said, "Hey, Century Freeway Program. Construction, introductory. They help you with a set of tools for whatever trade you're getting into." And the main thing that stuck out to me on that flyer was they paid you $1,345. And so once I seen that, I'm like, man, I'm going to try this out. It was 8 weeks of training. The place is in Lenox, over by Inglewood area. And so I was able to get enrolled. 2 weeks into the program, they're teaching us about how to read a tape measure, and we're doing different things regarding construction and taping and stuff like that. And so once they said, hey, you can go and get hired, an open solicitation to a job site, and if a contractor is needing manpower, they can hire you as a union carpenter. Just let them know, hey, my name is such and such. I'm a first stage apprentice. Are you hiring? That easy. So 2 weeks into the 8-week program, me and my partner, I had a buddy, Robert Ramirez. He lived not too far, and we were kind of carpooling to split the gas, right? And so we went to this one job site on the corner of Exposition and Vermont, right on the northeast corner there. Contractor was, I did the spiel, let him know, hey man, are you guys hiring? My name is Kyle Patterson. I'm a first stage apprentice with the Carpenters. He was like, hey kid, we're not hiring right now. Put your name on the paper. I was like, hey Dan, if you let me work for you tomorrow, and if you don't like the way I work, you don't have to pay me. He was like, laughed a little bit and said, hey, him and Jack Smith.
You wanted that job. You wanted that job.
Yes, badly. And so he said, hey, just leave your name and we'll get back to you. Got to the house. Not even 30 minutes later, I get a call from Dan. He says, hey, kid, I'm going to give you an opportunity. Wow. Don't make me look bad. Show up tomorrow with your driver's license, social. And that's when it all started for me.
And that was your first job?
First job.
How old were you?
I was 23.
23. First job. Here we go.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. So from that point right there, did all of my union paperwork. They came out to the job site, Century Freeway Program representatives, and they had this set of tools with the check. And Dan was looking at it. He said, hey, you guys are giving them money and tools? Oh, cool. And so from that point right there, it was just a job for me. I was just trying to show the parole office that I found a job, what they were asking me to do, and just program so I don't have to report every day, right? And so about 4 months into it, I'm bringing materials to the different journeymen and workers on the job, and the framing is taking place. Then the drywall is going up. The lathers are outside hanging lath, and there's a welder in the stairways welding, Daryl Maybach. And I was like, I wonder what I'm a part of. These representatives from the union came out and gave out these shirts, said Vision 2000. And so once I started realizing that this is something really big and important, this was no longer a job, it was a career. Yeah. And that's when it all started for me. I was
and
taking
you had
it
your
serious.
vision, right? There was your vision. You were part of it.
I was taking it serious at that point on. So the same thing that I did as a youth, I was applying that here. That same kind of determination and drive.
And then you just kept climbing the ladder.
Yeah, I met my wife. Shout out Lorna and the youngsters, all of them, and my mother.
I was going to say, how is your mom now? I mean, here, you left her, in court, and just like you said, you humiliated, you just embarrassed with the way your life was going. And now, what is your mom? I mean, I bet she is so proud of you, Kyle.
My mother's doing well, and I love her. And it's just, the things that she had to go through during those times. I understand that
Yeah.
there were situations she had to go through too, and dealing with it by herself. I commend her and I love her for that right there. So she did well.
And she
for us
did
all.
stick by you.
Yes, ma'am.
She did stick by you. And even though you said you weren't, they didn't visit you, but it was because she probably, a single mom, 9 kids. That's hard. That's tough.
It was really tough.
That's, yeah. You were
Yeah.
going through that tough love right there, right? That,
Yeah. And that's what I remember is tough love, and that's okay.
yeah.
I'm not denying anything that I did.
Yeah.
It was me. I had to make the decisions for that. It was just a matter of I had to go the long way to get to where I'm at right here, because I always remember this. God has a place for all of us, and you got to go through some things to get to where you're at.
You got to go through some struggles and pain.
Yes, ma'am.
You did. And but your mom, I just love that story, because you know how many parents are listening to us right now, and they are possibly going through this with one of theirs, and just, how do you handle that? How do you give them that love when they're doing everything wrong? And it's like, and here you get to circle back, and now you're out. Your mom is so proud of you, which is amazing. And just.
So to that right there, I think that it's very important mentoring, how I've seen and witnessed it and experienced it. I always sit back and say, dang, if I would have knew about the Carpenters back then, because these folks, this trade right here that I've been involved with, I met so many good people there, right, that don't look like me. The ones who will tell you, Rudy Navas, hey man, Kyle, make sure that you save 2 checks to pay all your bills. You need to make sure that you don't go buying the big trucks.
Yeah. And spend it all at once, right? Yeah.
Right. The people who are telling me hey, you need to buy a house, man, instead of just renting an apartment.
Yeah. Get some equity, right?
Yeah, and so and the ones that told me, hey, you got to go on vacation with your family. Yeah. And all of these things right here I'm able to do is favor and blessing. Thank you, Lord. It was just because I got an opportunity in a trade and a career to where I'm able to have those basic labor standards with health care and vacation pay and a prevailing wage, a living wage. So.
And this is encouraging for those. I mean, we even have incarcerated listening to this podcast right now. So if you could give them some advice.
There's a time that you're going to have to stand up for yourself. And I know it's difficult, all the different circumstances that's around you, because if you're like me, you went in a certain way, you want to leave a certain way. You have to put up this shield and this mask, and it's just a matter of standing up for yourself and believing that God has a place for you, and you're going to get there. It's just a matter of all the tests that you go through. How did you perform it during that time? Are you going to be the guy that's hard-headed and missing your blessings? And it's just, when you get the opportunity, seize it and just try and do better. Yeah. My whole thing is giving back to the community where I grew up at.
I love that.
And so that's what I'm trying to do now in my position. So
I know you're such a good steward and such a good, everyone that comes into contact with you, you just have that aura about you where you're just so encouraging and you serve others. And it's just, I love watching it. We're going to take a short break. We'll come back quickly, and we're going to talk about your future. You are on the board. You are on, which used to be the prison industry board, but you have such a huge position now from where you were 25 years ago. So take a short break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
This episode of Prison to Purpose, Building Futures Behind Bars proves that no one is defined by their worst mistake. Every day, incarcerated men and women are rebuilding their lives through job training, mentorship, and second chances. This podcast exists to amplify those voices, stories of true grit and purpose.
Welcome back, Prison to Purpose. We are talking with Kyle Patterson, and what a story he has shared with us. We are now wrapping things up, and I want to talk about your future plans and where you're at right now. So you serve on the California Correctional Training and Rehabilitation Board. You are a board member, which helps incarcerated. Talk about giving back. You just made a full circle. And you're also serving for the Western States Carpenters. Talk about that.
Yes, ma'am. So I never thought I'd see myself in a position like that to just be able to give back in a capacity like this. And so, the first one was when my leadership pretty much reached out and said, hey, there's an opportunity for you here to represent the membership. And so, doors has just been continuing to get opened from there. From our Western District Vice President to our Second District VP, just everybody who I've known during this whole journey has been awesome and amazing. Shout out Frank Hawk and Pete Rodriguez and the rest of the leadership. But coming back full circle to get an opportunity to represent Cal Citra. It was Cal PIA at the time, but now Cal Citra. One thing that I remember going to some of those locations, the prisons, when I pulled up to the very first one, I was like, man, I remember I used to come through these R&R doors back in the days, and being able to come back in at a different role and capacity now to give opportunities with career paths. I just had that reflection right there every time I drive through the gates. And my goal is that at least just one person in the crowd is able to take something away from it and follow up later once they come home. And that has happened right there.
And I think I was with you when you came through those gates for the first time.
Yes, ma'am.
And your experience just going from not being an incarcerated, but here you were speaking at a graduation to encourage others and to show them, hey, there is hope on the outside. You do matter. So
yes,
talk about how that felt. I mean,
oh my goodness,
what was going? I know what was going through you. That just because I could see you. I don't know what was going on inside you. I mean,
so
the emotions.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those things that where am I doing it right? I want to make sure that
I'm back inside prison. I never thought I'd be back here.
Exactly. You're not an inmate right now. And so that was all going through my mind to where I had to get that anxiety out. There's something
you're not a number. You're not a CDCR number, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or back then it was probably CDC.
It was J94702.
That was your number. There's your number.
You never forget those.
Yeah.
And so when
you're like, I'm Kyle Patterson.
Yes.
I'm Kyle Patterson.
Here's the ID.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right. And so being able to, there's something that everybody knows in there, and it's never write your name on the walls because there's a chance you might come back. That's the superstition, right? And so
don't write your name on the walls.
No, ma'am. In this case, it was just one of those things to where I was really back with a purpose now. And the thing was, when I'm talking to somebody, looking them in the eyes, shaking their hand, and just trying to see, I know you're going through some stuff right now, but hey, if you don't take nothing else out of this, give me a call when you get home. If you're in Southern Cal, give me a call. we can get you plugged up with a program, a pre-apprenticeship program that can help you get into the trade, sort of like that Century Freeway program.
Yeah, and also Calcitra. I mean, we have pre-apprentice programs
Yes, ma'am.
inside prison that people don't even know that we have, carpentry programs, construction labor, ironworking, diving. I mean,
Yes.
there's so many programs that where we partner with the unions, and we give them the first set of tool belts and, pay for the union dues.
All of that
and
is
that's
so
going on
huge.
inside prison that people don't even know.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, that's huge right there.
And how wonderful that is that you get to give back and be part of that. And Western States Carpenters, you travel, I would imagine, through the Western States, right?
Yes, ma'am. There's a lot of folks in our communities that are experiencing certain things, and recruitment and retention is huge with us right now, especially with all the infrastructure money happening for funding these projects. Where are we going to get the manpower from? Who's really wanting to sacrifice and do the work? So that's where I'm here to try and help find those resource of people.
And do your coworkers know about your past? I mean, well, they know now, but do they know about?
Yes, ma'am.
They do. You're
pretty
very
much-
honest.
It is, that was Kyle Patterson in the 90s,
Yeah.
right? 80s and 90s, and now it's
Kyle Patterson 2.0 now.
yes, ma'am. I have a purpose, and I understand that right there, and that's kind of I keep the right crowd. Pay attention to who your friends are too. So
Yeah.
that's that circle.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. And so one thing I really like about the E2E program.
That's the entry to employment. We've
Yes.
talked about that on a previous podcast.
Yes, ma'am. Huge.
Yeah.
If I would have knew about something like that, it's about planting the seeds. So
Yes.
if you're in those cells and you can start visualizing and just, you know what, when I get home, if I had $1,000, I'll buy some clothes, I could do this. You're planting the seed. Now, with a career, being able to put your name on a list, and a contractor can advocate to hire you, sponsor you once you come home. Just having that right there in place to where you can start getting your mind right before you come home, I think is very important.
Is paramount.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Kyle, it has been just a pleasure talking with you, getting to know you a little bit more. Is there any last words?
Just trying to be a good person in life for me. Being able to raise my family. Never thought I'd have a family.
Yeah.
I have 4 children. 2 of them just joined the Navy.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And,
Serving our country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just being able to give them some stuff that I didn't get a chance and opportunity to have. My wife for making sure that she took them to school every day and was there for them when I had to go traveling and shacking up, building projects. Having that foundation around you and the right people around you. This trade right here has been really good to me, and I'm going to always advocate for my career, something I didn't put blood, sweat, and tears into. Nothing is easy though.
Nothing is easy in life.
And there's
No.
going to always be some challenges. How do you fight those battles, though?
Yeah.
And I think just being able to be able to have folks that you can talk to,
Yep.
the good mentors around you, and just when you look back, what did you leave behind?
Yeah.
You know,
What is your legacy, right?
Yeah,
What is
that-
your legacy?
That's the goal right there.
Yeah.
For years, our communities look a certain way. How can we contribute to help build them up? And it's building the people, I think, is very important because that's the next generation. And so finding our replacements.
Well, I thank you for taking the time, making the trip up here to just talking and sharing your story. It's just been a pleasure. And I hope you can be on future podcasts. I would love to talk a little bit more. I could keep talking with Kyle all day long. I want to hear, there's so many more questions I have for you, but we do have to wrap things up. So thanks again. I just thank you, Kyle. Thank you for joining us. Prison to Purpose, building futures behind bars. So please like, share, subscribe to us, follow us. We got to get the word out. And I always leave people with this line. And I think this is imperative, especially after listening to your story. Remember, hope does not stop behind the gates. Thank you. See you soon.
Thank you for listening to the Prison to Purpose podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to hit follow, subscribe, and stay connected with us for more real stories, real growth, and real transformation. Share this episode with someone who needs a little strength today. We'll see you next time.